Welcome back to our channel where history and finance collide. Today we are diving into the captivating world of Abigail Adams, one of America's forgotten heroines. But wait, before we dive into this amazing story, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our thrilling historical finance adventures. And if you really love what we do, consider supporting us. Now, let's get started. When you think of the American Revolution, names like George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson might spring to mind. But have you ever wondered about the unsung heroines who played pivotal roles behind the scenes? Enter Abigail Adams, wife of John Adams, one of the founding fathers. While her husband was passionately arguing for independence in far-off Philadelphia, Abigail was holding down the fort in their hometown of Quincy, Massachusetts. But her role was far from the typical 18th century housewife. She was a manager, an investor, and the backbone of the family's financial security. But how did Abigail go from dutiful wife to financial powerhouse? What were the challenges she faced, and how did she overcome them? Stay tuned as we unravel the fascinating story of Abigail Adams, a true trailblazer who defied societal norms and made her mark in a man's world. Abigail Smith was born on November 11, 1744, in the bustling town of Weymouth, Massachusetts. Her father, John Smith, was a prosperous grain merchant and landowner, providing young Abigail with a comfortable upbringing. From an early age, she displayed a voracious appetite for knowledge, devouring books on a wide range of subjects. This insatiable curiosity was nurtured by her parents, who recognized her intelligence and potential. Rather than relegating her to the traditional role of a young girl focused solely on domestic duties, they provided her with a well-rounded education, teaching her reading, writing, arithmetic, and even some Latin. This was an unusual move, as formal education for girls was not widely available in those times. Her father recognized that she wasn't just any girl. She was destined for something more. By the time Abigail was 16, her intelligence and wit had become well known in the community. She caught the eye of John Adams, a rising lawyer who would later become one of the most influential figures of the American Revolution. Despite their 12-year age gap, the two fell in love and were married in 1764. Initially, their relationship was a harmonious blend of companionship and mutual respect. Abigail, despite her youth, brought a refreshing perspective to the marriage, challenging John intellectually and offering him support in his legal pursuits. However, the idyllic early years of their marriage would soon be overshadowed by the turbulent events leading up to the American Revolution. As John Adams delved deeper into politics, his involvement in the burgeoning movement for independence consumed him. This meant he was frequently away from home, leaving Abigail to manage not only the household but also their finances. The strain of the situation was evident in his letters to her, filled with both love and concern for her well-being and that of their 5 children. Once he wrote, "I must tell you that you distress me exceedingly by your silence. My love, my tenderness, and my duty all conspire to make me uneasy without a knowledge of the health of my beloved wife and children." But Abigail was not one to shy away from responsibility. She was a quick learner, possessed a sharp intellect, and had a remarkable work ethic. So when John went away, she didn't just keep the household running, she also took charge of his legal and financial affairs. This included managing their farms, handling their correspondence, and making crucial decisions in their absence. She became adept at managing people, overseeing hired help, and ensuring that the farm operations ran smoothly. She also developed a knack for real estate management, which proved invaluable during the turbulent years of the Revolution. As the conflict escalated, John's political career took off. He was elected to the Continental Congress in 1774, and in 1778 he became the first ambassador to the Netherlands. This meant that he was away from the family for extended periods, leaving Abigail as the head of the household and the family's chief financial officer. In these roles, Abigail had to juggle multiple responsibilities, from educating their children to managing their financial affairs and dealing with the social pressures of being the wife of a prominent politician. She took on these challenges with grace, demonstrating an uncanny ability to multitask and prioritize. At times, she had to balance homeschooling their children, often in the midst of chaotic events, with the task of managing the family's financial records. She had to meticulously track income and expenses, oversee property management, and make sound financial decisions to ensure the family's financial stability. Through it all, she remained steadfast, proving that she was more than just a supportive wife. She was a formidable manager in her own right. Despite being away from Abigail for months or even years at a time, John Adams never doubted her abilities. In fact, he regularly updated her on political developments and sought her counsel on financial matters. He knew that Abigail wasn't just managing the family's affairs. She was doing it with the same diligence and intelligence that he applied to his own work. He once wrote, "The importance of money and the manner in which you have conducted all our affairs relating thereto gives me great confidence in your wisdom and prudence." It was clear that John respected and relied on Abigail's judgment, recognizing her as a vital partner in both their personal and professional lives. During the tumultuous period of the American Revolution, Abigail Adams displayed a remarkable ability to stay level-headed and practical. When British troops seized John's estate in Braintree, now known as Holbrook, Massachusetts, she didn't panic. Instead, she packed up valuable items and moved to Quincy with her children, where she rented a house and continued to manage her family's affairs. When John was appointed ambassador to the Netherlands in 1778, Abigail showed her resourcefulness. She sold her cows and sheep to pay for the journey and continued to invest in various financial instruments to ensure the family's financial security. Her ability to adapt and make quick decisions proved invaluable in these uncertain times. While managing their finances and household, Abigail Adams also found ways to build her own personal wealth. She was a shrewd investor who made a series of wise financial decisions that grew her personal fortune. One of her most notable ventures was speculating in continental bonds, which were issued by the government to finance the war effort. Despite the skepticism of some, she correctly predicted that the new nation would honor its debt. This proved to be a profitable decision and showcased her belief in the future of the United States. Furthermore, Abigail was no stranger to taking risks, investing in land and fluctuating currency values. She saw opportunities in times of economic uncertainty and made calculated moves to secure her financial future. This drive for financial independence was not just about amassing wealth for herself, but about ensuring the security of her family. In a time when women had limited rights and were often financially dependent on men, she carved out her own path to financial freedom. Her personal wealth gave her a sense of security and independence that allowed her to confidently support her husband's political career. Even while living abroad during John's diplomatic missions, Abigail continued to oversee her investments and manage her financial affairs. She meticulously kept track of expenses, rental income, and the fluctuating value of currency, all while balancing her role as a diplomat's wife and raising their children. This long-distance management of her finances required an extraordinary level of organization and trust in her agents back home. In conclusion, Abigail Adams was more than just a founding mother. She was a brilliant manager, a shrewd investor, and a pillar of strength for her family and community. In a time when women were expected to be primarily focused on domestic roles, she defied expectations and demonstrated that they were also capable of managing complex financial affairs. Her story serves as a reminder that the contributions of women in shaping our nation's history are often overlooked but no less important. As you reflect on Abigail Adams's remarkable journey, ask yourself, how have women shaped your life and your community? And how can we continue to ensure that their voices are heard and their contributions valued? Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with others who might find inspiration in Abigail's story. Your engagement helps us continue to bring these fascinating historical tales to life. Subscribe for more,